on explosive charges. Both appeared briefly in a Duncan, BC court. Their lawyers claim the charges in no way relate to the Air India disaster or the CP air baggage explosion incident at an airport near Tokyo last summer.
The two accused, facing a string of explosives charges, are leading figures in Vancouver Island's large Sikh community. Talwinder Singh Parmar, the chief of a fundamentalist Sikh group called Barbar Khalasa, is charged with illegal possession of explosives. Inderjit Singh Reyat, a mechanic and director of this local Sikh temple, faces charges of making and possessing explosives and possession of a restricted weapon, a .357 caliber gun. The lawyer for the accused asked the court to restrain police from connecting the pair to the two tragedies last June, but the court replied that was a matter for the Crown, not the court itself.
You expressed some concerns in court about the RCMP making statements. What were those concerns?
Well, the matter's been adjourned over till Thursday morning, and I'll be back then to speak to bail. And that's really all I want to say about it.
Items included in the police search warrants used against the two include timing devices, black powder, starting fluid, and a Sanyo stereo like the one used in the Tokyo airport bombing. Neighbors seemed surprised by the arrest.
They pretty well keep to themselves, but from what we see of them, they're really nice.
The accused will appear for a bail hearing November 14th.
Criminal code language to describe the major ingredient to make a bomb. Reyat faces other charges: making an explosive substance dangerous to life and property, making an explosive substance which could allow another person to endanger life and property, and the illegal possession of an unlicensed pistol. Legal specialists say if guilty verdicts were returned on all charges, Reyat's maximum sentence would be 14 years, and 5 years if Parmar were found guilty on the one charge against him. The two men were arrested Wednesday night in raids by the RCMP task force investigating last June's Air India disaster and the bombing deaths of two baggage handlers at Japan's Narita airport the same day. They're still looking for evidence to prove it, but police believe a stereo tuner thought to contain the explosive was bought at this department store in Duncan. The lawyer representing the two men was quick to point out to the judge that the charges against his clients were in no way related to the Japan bombing. Lawyer David Gibbons tried to have the judge put a gag order on RCMP task force members in the case, complaining his client's right to a fair trial could be jeopardized otherwise. The judge refused.
It's best that nothing is said about the case other than what's said in the courtroom.
The arrest of Inderjit Singh Reyat and the charges that have been laid against him have shocked his neighbors and his family.
He's innocent. We don't know nothing about this.
I am sure, I'm quite sure that they got the wrong guy.
It's just unreal, because he was the nicest guy around.
Meanwhile, their brief 4-minute court appearance over, the two men, still handcuffed together, were taken back to RCMP cells in Duncan to wait for next Thursday. Del Archer, CTV News, Duncan.